Health Nuts, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikole Gonsalves, and today we are talking about 5 underrated foods that I think you need to try and that I just don't think get enough love. So we're gonna hop in. They're delicious. I'm excited to talk about them because I'm curious to know, have you guys tried these foods before? Let me know. Before we hop in, be sure to hit that red subscribe button down below. I post here every single week. It's free and you get just to hang out with me every single week. So what's not to love? So click that red subscribe button and let's hop right into the video. The first food that I think just doesn't get enough love is nutritional yeast. Now, if you're a vegan, you may be like, duh, I know what nutritional yeast is. But for the rest of the world who isn't vegan, nutritional yeast is the best thing ever. Whether you eat cheese or not, nutritional yeast is a deactivated yeast. It actually grows off of molasses, which is kind of odd, but it is a deactivated yeast, so you don't have to worry about candida or anything, but it has a cheesy flavor. This stuff is so good. I love to have it on pasta as like a Parmesan cheese, on popcorn. It's amazing. You can put it in salad dressings. You can make cheese sauces with it. This stuff, there's just like, you can put it on anything and it tastes so good. It's super cheesy and savory, and I don't know, there's just something addicting about it. And I'm in love with it and I use it all the time. We go through it so fast. Matt loves it. So like I said, whether you're vegan or not, or you like cheese or not, this stuff is amazing. Highly recommend it. Like I said, you'll see in a lot of my recipes. It's available at most stores. It's not a hard to find item. And a lot of times it's fortified with B vitamins. So there are some extra vitamins in it. And it's just a fun food to add to really whatever. Like, look at this. It's raining cheese. But really, it's not. Oh my God, it smells so good. Next up, we have coconut butter, also known as coconut manna. This stuff is so good, and a lot of people don't know what it is or even how to use it. And at one point, I didn't either, and now I'm so happy I do because it is so good. So let me talk about it. Basically, what it is the meat and the oil of the coconut blended all up together, basically like a nut butter, but it's coconut butter. You with me? So this stuff is so delicious. Now the trick to using it properly is when you get it, a lot of times, you can't really see it here, but a lot of times the coconut oil will be sitting on top of the meat and it will be solidified. So just like when you buy a new jar of some natural peanut butter or almond butter, the oil is sitting on top. That's what happens here, except that if you guys know coconut oil, when it's cool, it hardens. So what I recommend is actually putting this into a hot pot of water just until it reaches the top and stirring it with a butter knife just until it fully incorporates. And then you have the most delicious spread. It's basically like nature's butter or nature's icing, probably closer to icing. Like I spread this on banana bread. You can use it as an icing on muffins or cupcakes. You can blend it up into your coffee or hot chocolate for extra creaminess, put it in smoothies. You can just do so much with it. It's full of healthy fats, it's delicious, and there are actually a lot of recipes in the HealthNut cookbook using this stuff, and it's just delicious, and I feel like it doesn't get enough love. People are all about the coconut oil, but I'm all about the coconut butter. It's better than the oil. Anyways, I'm lame, but so good. I'll have links, by the way, to everything I'm mentioning down below, but you can find this at regular grocery stores. It is not hard to find. Just a lot of times you're probably like, I don't know what coconut manna is, but now you do. You're welcome. You will love it. Next up, we have Carob. So Carob comes in different forms. This is the powder version. I also have Carob chips. So they're made out of the same thing. They're from a tropical pod, basically like chocolate, and it is very similar to chocolate, taste and the way you use it, but it's a different plant. And basically what they do is they take out the pulp from the tropical pod, they roast it, they grind it up like chocolate, or I think they do that with coffee too. But anyways, it's delicious. It has like this slightly, it's almost sweeter, I think, than chocolate, but you definitely want to get it either sweetened or add in your own sweetener like maple syrup or coconut sugar when you're baking with it, because just like chocolate on its own, it's just not sweet enough. But if you're like me and you don't consume caffeine and you don't want to have just like the lower quality of chocolate because it has less caffeine in it, you want like the good quality stuff, sometimes it can have a high amount of caffeine in it. So I personally try to avoid it. I'll have chocolate here and there, but as you can tell on my channel, I don't do a ton of chocolate. I love it, but I just don't want the caffeine. So if you're like me and you want an alternative, Carob is amazing. So you can get it in the chocolate chip form. You can add this to banana bread. You can melt it and make your own chocolate with some like different mixings like dried fruit and nuts and stuff. It's delicious. You can make chocolate bark out of it. The Carob, you could put this into brownies, cake batter. You can add this to your smoothies. It's so versatile. It's good for you. I love using fun foods like this to create things in the kitchen, especially when I am inspired by already chocolate desserts that I'm craving. I can just swap it out with Carob. And you can also make your furry friends who can't have chocolate because it'll make them sick. You could make them a Carob chocolate treat instead. And they're just really fun. I will link this as well down below. The smell and taste is very similar to chocolate. I don't know. I feel like I can sometimes not tell the difference when it's in stuff, especially when it's sweetened up with other things. I love it. It's really good. And like I said, there's so many uses to it. Try out some Carob. I think it's very underrated and I feel like it needs more love in its life. Next up, we have water chestnuts, which I've actually been a huge fan of water chestnuts for years. I remember eating them as a kid and really enjoying them, but I just don't hear enough about them. They're so good. I feel like they get neglected on the shelf in the wall of cans, and I just think that they're so fun to eat. They kind of have like this firm, crisp, crunchy texture and like a fresh, crisp taste. Think of an apple, like a really crisp apple, but has a nutty flavor. So I like to use this in savory dishes. A lot of times you'll find this in stir fries. The cool thing about water chestnuts is that it keeps its crisp, firm texture even when heated. You don't wanna like overcook it, but you can just stir fry this up with some noodles and vegetables. It's so good. It adds a really fun texture element to it. And like I said, it's fresh. It's nutty, it's crispy, it's delicious, and it's actually high in nutrients. So even though it's like 74% water, so it's really hydrating. It's also high in fiber. It's low calorie if you're counting, and I just love it. It's also just I think it's high in antioxidants too, which I didn't know that because it's just a white vegetable. But even though, also fun fact, it's called a chestnut, it is actually a vegetable. So I think you can also put it in soups. You can eat it raw, boiled, roasted, pickled, lots of things. So super versatile. Highly recommend trying it out in stir fries. This is one of the things that you either love it or you hate it because the texture. I love it. Matt sometimes loves it, but I'm trying to like persuade him to love it as much as I do because it's so good. Last but not least, I have Chinese 5-spice. This is one of my favorite spices. It's so underrated. It has such a distinct flavor. Anytime I eat anything that has the spice in it, I can detect it right away. There's 5 spices in it. It's cinnamon, cloves, fennel, star anise, and Szechuan peppercorns. So a lot of times you'll find this in Asian cooking. A lot of Chinese and Vietnamese broths and stir fries and foods will have Chinese 5-spice in it. And it has a sweet, warm, aromatic flavor. It's kind of like a sweet and savory. I don't know. It's so good. That cinnamon is like unexpected, but it works really well with the fennel and the peppercorns. And I just think it's delicious. Like, let me smell it. It has the most unique spice blend flavor I've ever smelled. It's so good. So what I really like using this for is roasting things. I have a chicken wing recipe. It's so good. I'll link that one down below. You can put this into soups, stir fries. Actually, Matt was the one that got me onto this stuff. When we started dating, he would make stir fries all the time. It was like his go-to thing, chili and stir fries. And he would use this all the time in the stir fries because he grew up on it. His mom would use it all the time. So like, thank you, Mama Matt, for getting Matt on this because it's delicious. And that's how I discovered it. Otherwise, I think I still wouldn't have known. But the wonders of the Chinese 5-spice. It's so good. And just get yourself a good quality, just like any spice blend. But try it out, and you know, you can use it in marinades, rubs, in a soup. Really, you can use it in anything that you want to spice up and add some flavor. It's delicious. I love it. And I just always am looking for new ways on how to use it. It's so good. There you have it, Health Nuts, 5 underrated foods that I think you need to try. I'm curious, have you guys tried any of these foods? Leave me a comment down below. Also, let me know your #1 underrated food that you love and you feel like just not enough people know about it. I wanna know about it. So leave me a comment down below and let me know what it is, because I'm really curious. As always, don't forget to subscribe. It's free. Click that red subscribe button down below. I post here every single week. Also, if you guys aren't already following me on Instagram, I'm also posting there every single day. I'm super active on Instagram stories. I'm always posting behind the scenes, real time of what's happening in my life and behind the camera. I'm also on Facebook, Pinterest, all the things. So links down below. Thank you so much for coming back every week and supporting me and watching my videos. It means a lot. And like I said, I'm gonna have all the links for the products I mentioned in this video down below. Enjoy cooking with these or trying them out for the first time if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.